Welcome to the Ariel Show. I'm Ariel, really happy to have you with me today. This has been such an awesome week. It started out kind of weird when last Friday we were all set to release my book for pre-order, and then I wake up and someone at Amazon had literally taken my book off. They just made a mistake and removed it. So that was a little freaky, and I did freak out a little bit, but you guys were so sweet. All your kind comments made me feel like it wasn't me releasing a book, but all of us were in this together. Like, this was our book now. We were all rooting for this thing. And honestly, when we finally got it back up and running, we actually just like hacked the system and redid it. Like, Amazon never ended up fixing it. We just figured out a way around it. That happened on Tuesday, and it kind of made it like all the merrier because now we were all celebrating together. So I don't know, it ended up working out really cool. And I've been seeing a lot of amazing comments come through from you guys who are already reading chapter 6, which some of you have already received, and it's been so awesome to see like feedback from something I've been working on for literally years, and now other people are interacting with it. It's amazing. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful. Thank you, all of you guys. So my book is about my own self-love journey, how I learned to stop all the craziness going on in here. Not stop, I should not stop. Seriously diminish some of the self-hatred thoughts. I haven't figured it out all the way, but this is the path that I'm on the last several years, has been learning how to value myself, how to notice my feelings, how to take into account my viewpoints on a situation rather than just discount them and just do whatever makes the most sense, or just pause how I feel about something in order to achieve or to succeed in an area. Like, that was kind of what I was doing for a long time, just focusing on the outcome, just focusing on achieving something and not really noticing like, hey, am I happy with my own life? And turns out that was really ruining my life. It was making me miserable. And I knew I felt heavy all the time. I knew like I wasn't happy, but I didn't understand that it was because of all the meanness, all the bullying I was doing in my own head. I literally thought it was like, I wasn't happy because I hadn't done A, B, and C yet. And once I did that, then I would be good. And then I figured out like, oh, it doesn't work that way. Like, had my light bulb moment. And I think a lot of you guys are really going to just find what a big deal this is in your life as well. The way that I have found, like, self-love, it's the secret. It's the missing thing, you guys. It's the thing. I'm not just like, this isn't something I discovered last month and decided was the thing. I've thought it was the thing for 3 or 4 years now. And my life before and after is so dramatically different that I just gotta say, you guys, this is like one of those keys to happy, sane living. So if you're hearing that and you're like, well, I don't really know, self-love has a lot of resistance built into it. A lot of people I've talked to have a lot of questions about it, and a lot of resistance kind of comes up. There's a reason why it's kind of challenging to live a life where you love yourself. Like, it's not super intuitive. A lot of us are born with a lot more of like the meanness inside, a lot more critical of ourselves than we are born like clapping for ourselves all the time and being like, oh my God, I love being myself. This is so great. Most of us don't feel that way. So today I want to address and share with you 3 of the most common resistances that most of us have towards loving ourselves. So the first reason a lot of us resist learning how to love ourselves is we just don't feel worthy of self-love. And now you're not gonna call it worthiness. That's the word I'm using for it here, but it's gonna come out sounding like, I'm so jacked up. Everyone else can learn how to love themselves, but it won't work for me. I'm my own special brand of screwed upness, and things that work for the rest of the population, they don't work for me because I'm that jacked up. I'm that unlovable. I'm not special. I'm just average. I don't deserve to feel love towards myself. That's what worthiness is, when you feel like you're the exception. Maybe everyone else can learn to love themselves, whatever, but not you, because your parents screwed you up that much, or your childhood was that bad, or you were mistreated, or something really traumatic happened to you, or you're just your own brand of crazy inside your head and you think that you're the exception. And I know this feeling so well because that was me for a long time. I really thought, like, I had a list. You guys, here's the reasons, all the list of reasons why I'm not worthy of loving myself. And I encourage you to kind of ask yourself, if you feel like, I don't know if this is for me, if you kind of feel that way, ask yourself, what is it about me that makes me feel like I can't love myself? Like, what makes me the exception? And for me, those were things like, I have them written down in the book. I literally made a list. Like, I should be further along in life. I still care what people think of me. I'm ungrateful for my awesome life. My tone of voice is childish. I fall into depression even though my life is good. I'm too hard on myself. Like, these were lists, and there's more, lists of reasons why I can't love myself. Take a minute after this video and think, if you have this resistance, think, why do I think that I'm not worthy enough of self-love? Sometimes it's just writing it down, thinking it through, getting it out that you're like, okay, this is ridiculous. We all feel this way about ourselves sometimes, and that doesn't disqualify me from learning how to have peace with myself. The next resistance a lot of us have towards loving ourselves is just believing that it's selfish. In my book, I say self-love is a narcissistic waste of time. And so I'm scared that this whole self-love thing is really selfish and no one's had the guts to tell me yet. My inner critic says, yeah, no shit, it's selfish. Look at you obsessing over yourself and the way you feel about yourself. Nobody cares. You don't have time for this. Grow up and go do something useful with yourself. Oh my God, if you can relate to that, honey, it's not supposed to be that way. If you're trying to move your life forward and this inner critic rises up and says something so cruel, and it sounds cruel when you say it out loud, but when it's in your head, you don't realize how mean you're being to yourself. If that's going on, honey, it's not supposed to be like that. You're supposed to feel fulfilled and at peace on the inside. It's not supposed to be this like crazy tug of war where you're always yelling at yourself and beating yourself into submission. And so if you start to be like, okay, maybe I'm worth taking good care of myself. Maybe I'll try something this week that would be loving towards myself. And then this other voice is like, oh my God, you're such an idiot. Quit being so selfish. That right there, that's the bully. That's the thing that is being threatened because you're deciding to maybe like strengthen this part over here. And so just call it out for what it is. Recognize that those are your old thought patterns that have been running the show, and let it break your heart that that's what's going on, and let that fuel you to put some attention into this area of your life. I just want to say, loving yourself, it's a common misconception that it's selfish, but it's not. Because if you're walking around trying to be unselfish and save the world and, go live your life purpose and contribute to society, but something's not right in here, you're going to burn out. You're going to be able to do that for a little bit, but it's not going to be genuine. You're not going to be able to serve the causes and the people that you care about when you're just crumpling inside, when you've got this mean bully running the show, forcing you to help others because you're trying to compensate for the fact that you don't love yourself. So get this together first. Spend some time on this. Take a minute this week and be like, okay, I'm just going to I feel tired. I'm going to give myself 30 minutes to just sit and read and chill out and relax and do it in this really loving way. I'm going to light a candle. I'm going to play some music, whatever it is. And don't let your inner critic tell you that it's selfish, because it's not. You can serve other people and be unselfish when you've got some peace on the inside. And from that self-love that you've built up internally, that's how you help other people. And then the last resistance we're going to talk about today is settling. And this one goes like this. I can't love myself because then I'll have to settle for my awful, pathetic self. If I accept myself, I will stop trying so hard to be awesome and just become complacent and go nowhere in life. Right? Do you ever think that way? I think that way all the time, or at least I used to. I've gotten a lot better at it, but I just believed that if I learned how to love myself, that would mean I would stop working on myself and I would become lazy. Like, you think, okay, what if I take this too far and I learn to love myself and then I am just so happy with who I am that I never move forward in life? And that's like a really big lie that keeps us from not learning how to love ourselves. And I just want to call that out and say, the truth is, when you learn how to love yourself, then you move forward from a healthy place. And then you're more excited than ever to move forward and to progress and to keep changing and evolving. You're not settling. You're not like, oh, I love myself, so I'm just gonna give up and stop here and be cool like with where I'm at. No, you're like, I love myself enough to work on myself. I love myself enough to spend time on myself, to grow and to become a better person, to pursue the things that interest me, to spend time getting ready in the morning because I love feeling beautiful, to spend time getting my soul in order. I'm gonna put in the effort, whatever that looks like. Self-love inspires these kinds of positive movements. They don't make you just like sit down in life and be like, peace out, I'm cool, I love myself, I'm giving up now, so now I'm gonna watch TV forever. So I don't know if you can relate to any of those, but those were some of the biggest resistance things that came up in my self-love journey. To be honest, they still come up and bite me sometimes, but now I know what they are. I'm familiar with them. I'm like, oh, you're that old little demon trying to screw with me here. I'm not gonna like give you a piece of my heart today. No, like I know you. I know this potential pitfall and I'm not gonna give in. I'm smarter now, I figured you out. And so that's why I wanted to share these with you, because when we sometimes give language and verbalize these things, a lot of us have kind of as more abstract thoughts in our head, these thought patterns, then we can all move forward together. So I hope you enjoyed that. It was really fun just to share that with you. So much more good stuff coming. If you did enjoy that, that's from chapter 6, which you do get for free when you pre-order my book today, and come back and give me your email address on the pre-order form that I'm putting right here below this video. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. Leave me a comment letting me know what are your common resistances towards loving yourself. And then if you found anything that's kind of worked to tame that and to move beyond that, I think that would really help all of us to share our own personal experiences with each other. Love you guys. Thanks to my patrons for sponsoring today's episode. Could not do it without you. And honestly, I wouldn't even want to because you make this such an enjoyable thing. Next week, we're talking about how we can love ourselves through the holiday season. So be on the lookout for that. If things are starting to get crazy and you might be neglecting some of your self-care, or maybe you don't have any self-care and you need to start some, that's what we're diving into next week. Love you so much. See you next time.